Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with a replay that I took from the front page of drop.sc, yes, but now you couldn't tell that it's a replay because I just hit Shift O, and I am such an idiot for loading this setup, guys. What in the ever-loving hell am I doing here? I'm sorry, I was actually under the impression that graphics actually changed once we had switched to different servers. Hang on just a second, let me go ahead and kick that into high. There we go. Alright, so I think right now it's rather adequate. Please forgive me for making such a mistake right now. And the reason why I chose this replay is because, you know, it has a very well-reputed Protoss in it. Spawning as our Protoss in the lower right-hand corner, I give you all the Adell Toss, or Adell Scott, belonging to the Millennium team. Upper left-hand corner, spawning as our Terran in the red trunks, his name is simply Reis. Reis. Yes, but at the loading screen, you guys should have seen that this is actually a. I'm trying to think. This is actually a map that. What happened with that? Oh yeah, it's an ESL map, tournament edition, if you will. I mean, like you guys could have seen that at the loading screen. I don't know. I just want to kind of, if I will, just kind of fill in the opening time we have now with kind of. I want to say how clogged we are with the World Championship Series this year. I don't know, I kind of miss the unique personality that each tournament had with itself. I mean, come on, there is MLG. A lot of people have kind of expressed their dissent about it. Excuse me. I mean, it's not entirely a bad thing that you know, I mean, MLG has content exclusivity that they won't really share with outside organizations. Most notably, replay packs recently. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and change my observer interface. Here we go. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. There we go. Here we go, guys. Yeah, that was pretty good. And I don't know. It just seems like I really miss things like the IEM Guangzhou. I really miss the IEM. I know the IEM Singapore was essentially moved to Singapore because of, you know, these riots that were going on last year over the Diaoyu Islands, also known as the Ryukyukyu Islands, if you guys speak Japanese. I know that, you know, it basically caused a lot of unrest in China, and that's the whole reason why the IEM Guangzhou got called off. Let me think here. But beyond that, I mean, like, I don't know, I'm kind of just missing the idea of IEM as a whole. I mean, I understand that, you know, Blizzard essentially wanted to make a newer, bigger, badder, revamped WCS system, but this kind of, you know, it just, I don't know how to say it. It seems like it's less, there's less personality in the WCS now. I just don't know, or not the WCS rather, but, the ESL guys. There's less personality with, I would say, sort of MLG. I mean, I'm not gonna try and point any fingers and say anyone's the bad guy, but you know, I kind of like, I really like the idea of, say, having the WCS on the side. The only problem with the WCS is that the only one who has really coverage, like if we looked at last year's WCS, basically 90% of all the coverage was done by, you know, the Battle.net staff and people and all of that, so yeah. Alright, so it looks like we have Adell throwing out his first Stalker, trying to get a read into just what Reis has going. You know, after we have the openers all said and done, that's essentially what you have to do. You have to scout your opponent and make sure they're doing something normal. I do think perhaps this could have paved the way for a double proxy Rex, just with, you know, I mean, and anything's possible. I mean, the thing is, I'm looking at, you know, I'm not trying to say this is good or this is bad, but I want to say that the one server that I ran into double proxy racks is the most on would have to be the Korean server. The Taiwan and Korea server, excuse me. Political correctness for the win, because when I actually started playing on the Korean server, I was in Taiwan. Yes, Taiwanese, like the Taiwan server got merged with the Korean server because the Taiwan population for play was actually rather That's kind of low in and of itself. Adell, are you going to lose your stalker here? It looks like you are! Yes, your responses are just a little bit too slow there. Just checking the APM. I mean, like, the thing is, there's a lot of different things that people have to do. And, I mean, in terms of micro, macro, and so on and so forth. And also multitasking skills. There is what Day 9 has highlighted as the mental checklist. Very critical piece of work to actually go with. And I'm really curious, what are these Marines scouting for? Anywho, mental checklist essentially is just, you know, checking your minimap, checking your minerals, checking your production. And it's a little hard to do. It's like harder to check your production while you're playing a game than it is to actually watch your own replay. But, you know, I mean, these are reflexes essentially. These are, okay, well, this is what I've got to do here, this is what I've got to do here. And we're just gonna go ahead and type this out real quick. You know what, let's wait for these Marines to clear up first. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try and poke in for a bit, but no. Never mind. Looks like Reis, SK Reis is actually just, you know, we're kinda making sure there's no third, making sure we don't have an exceptionally greedy Protoss. But let me go and type this out right now for you guys to look up. If you're, you know, if you're not in Masters League, I should be doing this more myself. But here we go. Day 9 daily number 360. There we go. So go ahead and look that up on YouTube. It will help you with your reflexes and everything of the such. It will make you a better gamer. Now, there's a lot of stalkers here, and we did see Blink in production for a while. Now, the possible follow-ups that we could see would, I don't know, maybe say, it would probably be, say, you know, DTs, but I don't think it's gonna last that long into this game. I actually forget how long this game lasted, but it looks like, you know, I think if Reis just micros correctly, he'll be able to hold this. And so, I mean, I think it would be a little more damaging for, you know, Reis to be facing up against the same composition with perhaps maybe some force fields. We're talking sentries and so on and so forth. But I'm not the PvT expert. I'm not even a novice at PvT. I don't even have Bronze League in these guys. There it is, the time warp going down. This is going to prevent a lot of units from getting down the ramp, and we have the stalkers slowly but surely being blinked back, and it looks like we have Reis chasing down this composition now, while we have Adell essentially trying to boldly hold his ground, and Marines, more Marauders popping out. The problem is, when the Marauder count gets a little bit too high, the stalkers are just going to be essentially, you know, not able to, you know, keep doing damage. But my curiosity is, will we see Adell go for an expo behind us? There is a Marine over here waiting cleverly for Adell to do that. Missile turret going down, it burns, but it doesn't explode, and it looks like, oh my god, we're gonna have, oh man, this game could end pretty soon here, guys. It's all about the numbers. I mean, if we check the army count right now, I mean, just constant, the fact that we have just excellent fleet coming from Adell, I don't know, but I'm thinking perhaps the Marauder count is a little too high, and that is a beautiful time warp. It looks like the Mothership Core is in a bit of trouble. I don't think we're going to see Reis pick it off just yet. And Adell, oh, he's going for the aggro blink into the main! It's the biggest mistake we could have seen in Reis' life, and it happened. But I don't think we see any infrastructure just quite being destroyed. Again, though, since the Marines and the Marauders have to work their way up the choke, and the SCVs are being pulled, I don't see Reis being able to hold this for too much longer. The SCVs, it's not so much the damage they do as it is the taking that they do. And the fact that they draw the Stalker's attention. Reis on limited time right now, the supply is now 68 to 63. And it looks like we have Adell in a position where he's going to have to, you know, not Adell, but Reis actually in a position where he's going to have to throw down a bunker and try and hold as best he can. The medevacs luckily can heal the SCVs. How many have we seen lost so far? 22 worker kills by Adell. Oh my god. Behind us, we do see that there's a Marine spotting in third, and Adell is just going to get himself further and further ahead with this, but we do have medevacs out for Reis. I do think it would be, you know, not altogether unwise to see some Marine Marauder medevac drops. I mean, I can see a lot of damage being done with this, especially if there's a double medevac drop being thrown out. But we're gonna need to see bunkers at home for that even happens. Lots of Marauders here. One bad engagement could mean death for Adell. Those are a few low health stalkers. And my oh my, how did these stalkers get vision of the high ground? That's a little mystifying. Just how did that guy just shoot up? Oh, is that the Marauder? The medevac, excuse me. Sorry about that. And now we have a Zealot, sacrificial emo Zealot, going up the ramp to see how much there is from our Terran race. You know, he's on borrowed time. I don't think he's gonna be able, you know, I mean, especially now that we have the third Nexus just finishing up, I don't think we're gonna be able to see Reis really hold on much longer, especially just checking the income right now. His main is close to dry, and once those two mineral patches go down, you know, we're going to see him in that dire position where he's going to be forced to push out, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. This is being starved to death as a Terran, guys. 3 more gateways being tacked on, that means we're going to see a lot more Fleet Stalkers. No upgrades for them whatsoever. These Marines and Marauders are at 1-1. Alright, so it looks like one or two Stalkers do fall from here. Is this enough? We have Reis pushing out from what could be his final engagement. There's enough medevacs that each Marauder and Marine has its own personal healer for the time being. The question is the DPS high enough to take down all the Bioforce? It looks like there is for the time being. Beautiful surround here, but I think overall we still have a lot of Marauders left over, and it looks like we have Reis turning this around. He's chasing everything down. He just dipped for the win. He's chasing down the remaining Stalkers, and it looks like he's going to make something happen. Oh my god, he just took down forward pylons. Adell is now at actually... Oh man, he's in a really bad position right now. I mean, army-wise, but if he changes up his tech, if he can get some, you know, I'm thinking High Templar or Archons into the composition, it'll be good. But oh boy, this, you know, the most important part was the medevacs and all of that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, it was, like, not just that, but of course, the Marauder production, we did have an additional reactor go down, and additional barracks with the reactor going down as well. If the third orbital command gets thrown down, we're going to see income skyrocket for Terran in the next few seconds. Yes, just look at that. Over 1,000, over 1,700, but not over 9,000! Now we have Reis pushing back. He's like, okay, I gotta make something happen now. This is my moment to shine. Aggressive warp in this position. I'm thinking there's probably not enough energy on these medevacs to actually thoroughly heal all the bio, and perhaps just maybe we see Adell reading into that, but he's, oh my god, he's just blinking into so many bad positions right now. He's actually putting himself further behind. What he doesn't realize is just what happened after his opponent managed to push him back with all those Marauders, and now it looks like we have both players kind of going into a bit of a base trade scenario. He's trying to cut off reinforcements here, but it's not going to work, and oh my god, where's that warp in happening? Over here on the high ground. I want to say that we see Adell in a really bad position right now. I mean, we see, you know, he's, I don't know how to say it, armed piranhas. These piranhas with C-14 Gauss rifles, stiff packs, and concussive shells taking down the third. This is making Adell's income plummet. Oh my god. There it is. A huge massacre on the probes. Stalkers blinking back. It looks like, yeah, just this plain Stalker composition, especially with low upgrades, no upgrades whatsoever, actually. And all of these medevacs, I think we could actually see Reis' attack here potentially lose steam, but again, there's just too many armored units, and they're stimming forward and just powering through this huge Stalker ball right here. Trying to chase it down and bring it to an end, it's not gonna work. The Stalkers, they're just trying their best to hold, but I don't see it happening. Presently, the supply difference is 69 to 143. If we look at the workers lost right now, it's 18 to 22, but of course those workers are just so much more valuable for Protoss than they are for Terran, because Terran has mules. The only thing the SCVs do is harvest gas. Oh boy, and this looks like it's going to be the death push for Reis. I can't see him losing. I just can't. But again, we have so many low health medevacs here. I don't know if it's going to work out. The best that we can see Adell hope to do right now is essentially cut off reinforcements. that's what he's going to do. The natural is now under siege, getting peppered, and there's no way we're going to see Adell save it. He can pull their attention away for just a moment, but this Nexus will fall. There it is. GG, well played from Adell Scott. I apologize for the technical hiccups, ladies and gentlemen. That would be the high settings, excuse me, the low settings I initially started recording on. But this has been Breaker TV. I'll see you guys next time.